Yeah.
How's it feel after?
No, thank you, John. It feels good. Players feel good about it. They were able to reward themselves, deliver something to the fans and to the club. Um, it might have been after like the Kansas City game. Somebody in the fan section said, "Hey, don't worry, we got Austin. If we beat Austin, we're going to get a trophy." And I was like, "Hold on, we've got a few more games," kind of thing, you know. But we've been fighting all the way up just to get to this win, you know. So either that person's got a crystal ball or something, I don't know. But it feels good, John. Appreciate it. The guys have been playing well for stretches at a time. The big discussion today in the halftime and the pregame talk was we have to push it across the line and just play the game as complete as possible. There was times in that game where we weren't on the front foot, and Austin had control of the game. That was obvious. We didn't panic though. We didn't make formational changes. The guys managed problems on the field, which is what we asked them to do, and then we slowly started to find how we could get some moments. And I think between the first half and the second half, a little bit different of the game, different types of game. But just speaking about the goal, and then the red card with Paxton breaking the line and us just hitting them over the top at some point. They were kind of pressing us, and we were having trouble getting out of our half. So we said, well, let's just get behind them. So the guys adapted. They took to that instruction. And then the second half opened up for us, and then it just became a point of when to put two forwards on. And then Hara came in and just, it's what we wanted to do. So that felt good as well for us as coaches and for the players as well. There was like a clear plan. We held our cards to the last 15 minutes, and it paid off.
I wanted to ask you about that because, you mentioned, hey, we didn't panic, we held our cards.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of thinking after the red card, I was like a bit surprised you guys didn't go a bit sooner with
Make a straight change.
Changes,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just anything.
Yeah.
Why did you decide that you wanted to be patient with that?
Because we were managing the game at that point. Like I said, the first hurdle we were trying to get past was getting into their half of the field. We started to find ways to break in. One of the ways that we broke in resulted in a red card for them. So we felt like, okay, let's just keep hitting them. Let's see what they're going to do and how they're going to adjust. And, even with 10 guys on the field, we always say as teams, as coaches, you can defend with 10 and you can still find your moment to go hurt another team, And if you remember our Kansas City game, we were able to pull one back with 10 guys. Mm-hmm. So that's common, but I felt like the guys were in control and we were just sitting there with that card to play in our back pocket. When it works, it's good. When it doesn't, then you got that question on me all day. Yes, sir.
Coach, what is the message for the people? They are still on the field singing.
That's good.
Like a one season
Yeah.
without playoffs. So what is the message for the fans?
Keep it up. Come back. It's only going to get better. Things will change. Some things will change. We understand that. But as long as clubs have stadiums and fans, there's always going to be players here putting the work in. So, again, the players were very conscientious, very aware, very focused on delivering something for the fans, the family, and the friends. So I'm glad that they have something to celebrate for. It's not easy. It's not easy being a fan with teams that are struggling. But I did mention to the boys that we all know this. You go through adversities in life. You go through adversities in your seasons. The whole league went through a pandemic. This team got locked into a hotel for 14 days. They've been through a lot over the last 18 months. But we always also say, none of us are victim, and we have a better life than many people can wish for. So we're privileged. So. I'm happy that the fans are out there celebrating.
So was there something that you saw tactically going into this match to play Nkosi as the starter, or is it simply just a matter of Martinez picking up an
Well, the first domino was losing a center back. The second domino was picking the next center back to play. So I'm not sure if that answers your question tactically. He matches up well with some other guys, for sure. But Martinez was ready to go until he wasn't, and that's the way that we were going to go. But Nkosi stepped in and he did a good job tonight. So, credit to him. I always like when players come off the bench or get their moments and they prove coaches and people right or wrong, just that they show up. So I was happy for his game 100%. It's just something that happened basically over the last day and a half with pulling Martinez out of the lineup. But Nkosi was good tonight.
Like, I just wondered, teams historically had an issue with against the low block. Austin drops into it and you break it pretty quickly. Was that something you just had up your sleeve, or kind of just identifying how they were kind of in that situation at the time?
We felt like we could pressure them. We had to sustain numbers there at some point. At one point, we tried to do an in-game adjustment where we wanted to push Jesus in there a little bit higher with Pepe because we were getting in and around them, but we still weren't having either that final pass or it was only Pepe and then Paxton coming in late, or the reverse with Hader. And we didn't have that presence, enough of a presence, but we did feel like we could get past there, with all respect, their low block and their back line. So it was an emphasis, obviously. I mean, saying to get past their back line is obvious. That's the line protecting the goal, but we felt like we could match up well. Sometimes our team plays around it too much. We just play around it, and we get a couple hundred more passes than we need. But they've actually been exploiting the goal well recently, and they were doing it quick. I'd even go so far to say in the first half they were going a little too quick. And I said, let's catch our breath, because they're also coming off of games. So I didn't want that midfield to get stretched out. Some boys have been putting in kilometers that, my car can't handle.
Real quick, I wanted to just ask about Franco as well. 3 goals in 4 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Just something you feel like you've unlocked in him, something that he's found that's made him more comfortable. Why is he having success right now?
I think he's a good professional, and we've been training well. He's been focused on it. I'll keep it as simple as that. I won't try to pretend that I discovered anything or anybody else, but he's been very focused, and we knew that he could score goals. So it's translated from the training ground to the field. So I'm, again, happy for the player, and it's helped the club have another dynamic.
Anything else for Marco? Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, we got one final game coming up next week against a team that's also eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys approach a game like that when both teams are really not playing for a playoff push?
Right. Well, these guys will get tired of me saying it again, because I've answered that one for the last few games, just that they find a reason to play because they always need a reason to compete. So today was a trophy, and today we had fans, and today we were home. We're not going to have that in San Jose, but we're still going to have that ambition and will to win and to continue fortifying those things that we've worked on. John just mentioned we have a player who hit a little bit of a drought. If he's on the field in San Jose, I know he's going to be ready to score a goal. So we're going to go in with that attitude. Like I said, that switch is pretty much on for those guys right now, which is good. And if I'm not incorrect, I think San Jose came back today and had a bit of a, what was it, 4-3? Everyone's still playing, even the guys that are not in the playoffs. Everyone still has something to say. So it'll be a good game in California.
So, somewhat related, is there anything you're trying to get out of this last match? Just looking to next year, looking at personnel, is there anything
Right.
you wanted to see get out with one last time?
That's a good question. The consistency, the consistency of the things that we've been working on. This is the first time that we got the win, but just in terms of, I think what we did well in this game was maintain it for the the entire 90 minutes plus. We've have a brief recent history of coming out really fast and really strong and then fading a little bit. So some of that you can say attributed to run of games, et cetera. Maybe not enough rotation, et cetera. But if they can come off as consistent from all of those great moments that we've had and then consistent from this game, that's a good bridge into next year, 100%. And the guys that are doing that, I think they're definitely making their claim that they need more minutes or they need to start or this is how the team is going to go.
All righty. Thanks, Marco.
Thank you.
Oops.